Okay, so Metal Slug is a video game, a run-and-gun video game that first came out in 1996. And there have been several different Metal Slugs, and this model kit is from the Metal Slug 10 collection, or Metal Slug X. I don't know if it's supposed to be 10 or X, but that's the box, right? And then Sarubia is this particular tank in the game. By the way, you can download this game for free and play it on your mobile. That's what I've been doing a little bit. It's a pretty fun game, I guess. It's not much thinking involved. It's just run and gun. So yeah, I've actually shot this tank in the video game. The kit says number 3, so I assume that's number 3 of the 6. Or technically there's 7. Oh wait, my bad. It says 05 here, so I don't know why it says 3 then, and 5. But then it says 3 down here, so it's a little confusing. Oh, maybe this... I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, the box does say 2020 is when this set of models came out. And if you want, you can actually get the whole collection, which is these. Metal Slug itself. A Slug Flyer looks like a Harrier. Melty Honey looks like a Martyr tank. A half-track called Landseek. And then some crazy-looking tank base thing called Shoe. And they each come with a character, including the main star right there. But if you actually buy every one of these kits, you get some pieces in each one. Like I got all these white pieces here. And those eventually, when you have all 6 of them, you can build this flying saucer one. It actually has the same chassis as this, but there's just a giant white saucer with a hatch, I guess. I guess that's the hatch right there. But I don't think I'm going to buy this whole series because I don't really want that or that. Possibly the other ones. Who knows. We'll have to see as time goes by. Let me close this out here because it's kind of distracting. And that Windows 11 thing, I hate that thing. Alright, so the kit did come with both stickers. These are physical stickers. I used a few of them just because I felt I was too lazy to paint. But then I realized you might as well just paint it all. So I did stick that number 5 sticker down here. And then the decals. Decals are better than stickers because they won't peel up as easily, but if you don't clear coat it, they will eventually crack and peel up. So the dumb thing about these is the decal sheet has eyes for the character, which is great, but they were right in the middle of this red thing. So you'd have to take an X-Acto knife and cut out this circle. I don't understand the logic of that. It was like a last-minute thought, but they could have easily just put the eyes over here. I don't know why they had to be over there. But I'd already painted all that red anyways, so I just cut right through this. And I guess I'll just save these for maybe some other custom Gundam kit or something. Alright, that figure did fall off, so let's just look at this figure here. The figure's quite small, but yeah, you can see the eyes there are decals. I can never paint those myself, so I'm grateful that it included eyes. I do want to let you know that gluing this together with Tamiya Limonene cement didn't work. Then Tamiya regular cement didn't work. So only crazy glue seems to work as far as holding this thing together. This whole little character, by the way, is like a soft PVC vinyl, including the shield. It's all softer rubber. So I'm not sure if the paint's going to stick to it very well, but I clear coated this a bunch, so hopefully it's all trapped inside there. Anyways, it's quite a small character. It works, I guess, pretty well with this tank, but if you're curious about having it work with other cartoony things, this thing is only around 4 centimeters tall, or like 1.5 inches. Okay. Alright, so let's put that away. And let's talk about the tank here. I gotta say, it's a very simple tank to build, and not too much modification was necessary. The only thing I had a real problem with was these headlight covers. One of the pins, for some reason, didn't want to go in very well. It's possible maybe I had them backwards, but they look symmetric to me, so I just ended up using a small drill to drill out the hole a little bit, and then they went in fine. But everything else, I believe, was no problems whatsoever. Bear in mind, these tank tracks are not quite symmetric, but you'll figure it out the way they slide into this lower hull. It either will go in or it won't. If it doesn't, just flip it to the other side and you're good to go. I did do a little modification here. These little, I exhaust shrouds were just cut off at the top, like very thick. So I took a hobby knife and I chamfered it a little bit so I could see more of the exhaust, because it looked a little bit weak the way it was originally. So that's just a little modification I made. I think that's it. There's so few parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think there's only 17 parts, so there's less than 20 parts to make this tank, so you can make it quite quickly. I did use this display red marker because I don't trust stickers for sure. I'm not really a big fan of decals even, but the nice thing about this design of this particular model kit is these grooves are so wide and so deep that you can use a marker like this. Granted, I had to lay the marker on like 10 times because red's really hard to cover up stuff, but eventually I got it on there. But anyways, I didn't really have to scrape away any of the red because the gap was so big, and the display markers have a pretty fine tip, so it works very well. Well engineered. I like it. They were thinking about kids, I guess, making this thing and how sloppy they might be, or sloppy adults like me. So then I added some aluminum color to the tracks, as well as all the bolt heads, or these rivet heads actually. And then I used 3 kinds of AK Interactive rust, a dark, medium, and light, and just started with dark first, then medium, and then I left off with light. And then I used some silver paint for the lights, a little black way in there, and some gunmetal display marker for the barrel. And I think that was it. Oh, I did drill these out though. I used a hot needle to start the hole, and then I used a drill bit and then a chamfer bit, just because they were just flat and that doesn't look so cool. So, okay, yeah, they're 2 of those stickers, but then I just added paint on top of them anyway. So I think you'd be better off just. The nice thing about the sticker, I guess, is it eliminated the seam that was there. This seam here is here, but you don't see it in these 2 because there's a sticker bridging that gap. The stickers didn't really want to go into these recesses very easily, so that's what made me ended up painting those. The black marker for this like X thing, and that's on a white piece, and it's raised quite a bit. So again, they're really, whoever designed this kit was thinking about kids or bad adults like me. So I didn't get any black really on the white because the cross is so raised, it's really hard for that to happen. So I'm really happy that was designed that way. And also this white piece is separate, so you can paint all this red and then that thing inserts and you'll still have perfect color separation, as well as it being recessed, which looks nice. The hatch doesn't open. There is no hatch whatsoever. I suppose I could have designed it that way, but I'm happy with it being closed. It's so small. I guess I gotta measure this. This thing is like lengthwise 6 centimeters. Height-wise, with the antenna, maybe 85 millimeters, 8.5 centimeters. And then width-wise, I would say it's around, well, 42 millimeters, somewhere in that ballpark. So, alright, so it's very neat. It's very small. Let's compare it to a few other tanks. Now, the first thing you most would anticipate is the World War II's Meng tanks. This is one of the small light tanks from that collection. This is the M5 Stuart. And I guess, I don't know, this still looks quite large, you know, if you try to well, I guess if you look at the hatch size, maybe it's okay. I suppose you could think of this as a one-person tank. Maybe like one person is standing inside there, and then it works. But if it's supposed to be a traditional type of tank, you know, with multiple people inside of it, it's way too small. I didn't even bother bringing out one of the larger Meng tanks. This is a resin kit I got off of AliExpress. It's called a Yufan, Y-U-F-A-N, and it's a Tiger 1 tank. And so, again, I think the Tiger 1 might be more closer to this Meng because the turret size is so huge. So this is very, very stylized, you know, as far as how big the turret is compared to the chassis. This is a little more normal. And then obviously this is just a sci-fi tank, but I like it. gives me like a vibe of like steampunk / German, like a German steampunk kind of thing. Yeah, so it's really neat. I do actually like the size of it. I almost wish all the Meng tanks were half the size. And I do have to mention that someone left a comment on one of my Meng builds, and within 2 years these rubber tracks cracked off of his tank or her tank. And so that's not good. I gotta start mentioning that in the few builds I have left to do for the World War tunes. But don't be surprised if these tracks crack and break because they're rubber. I really wish they were plastic tanks. Like, these are just resin printed tanks. Tracks it is. These are plastic tracks, so, and they still look saggy, so I like them. And you don't have to worry about this going bad. Whereas this, just a warning for you. Okay, so one nice thing though about this little short character is I guess it can fit with the smaller Meng tanks. You know, the hull of a tank is pretty tall because someone has to sit inside it there too. And then you have this Yufan thing, but Yufan also has their own figurines which are much bigger than this, but it does look like it could work. So there you have it. As far as the time it took for me to build this, I would say maybe you could actually make the kit in probably an hour or less. And that's including, you know, sanding down all the nub marks. But I weathered it, so that took quite a while, and I clear coated it a few times, and I clear coated this a few times. So I probably spent around 5 hours to do this. So keep that in mind if you want to weather the thing. And I didn't really weather it much. I didn't add any grease or darker grime or sand or anything. Dirt effects. Anyways, it's a cool model kit. We'll have to see in time if I build the other ones. It's possible because I do like the small size of these. They don't take up too much cabinet space. I just really like this design though. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next tank related video.